Hello, welcome back to the second half of the WFA Premiership. We're on court A and we've got a great game, Newcastle PFC versus Nottinghamshire. I'm now joined by Ryan. Ryan?
Thank you, Jack. Pleasure to be here. Just had word from Alex up in the gantry, so explaining that the feed may have been lost for the latter stages of that first half, so we apologise for any technical difficulties. We hope you can see and hear this fixture loud and clear. But thoughts on the first half, Jack?
I think it's been great. Newcastle have been dominant, been in control of that game. I mean, Langley for Nottinghamshire, giving them a real challenge, but I think Newcastle hopefully can get away with 3 points. They're only 3 points of the weekend. It's been a bit of a rocky start for them for the season.
Yeah, agreed. It must be noted that Adam Langley is absent due to illness, so first of all we wish him a speedy recovery, and secondly, he was just such a key crucial member of this side. The dynamics have been slightly off. Obviously they've had to adjust accordingly. The recent transfer of Jack McNaughton from West Bromwich Albion Dudley strengthens them slightly in the absence of Adam. But yeah, a tough start considering how well they performed throughout the 21-22 campaign.
I think rumour has it was 50 million for Jack McNaughton.
I tell you what, Jack McNaughton can hit a dead ball.
He really can.
Few players can generate the power that he can, so if Nottingham can utilise that and use that to their advantage, it's a real asset to have. Matt Hadfield, I believe, got him team of the season last year. Consistent throughout.
He's been very good in the first half.
Must be noted, Nottingham did get Premiership team of the season, voted on by fellow players, coaches, match officials and WFA representatives, so they'll want to get back to winning ways and try and mirror the form of last year. Early pressure from Newcastle. Rob Thompson foresaw in his rotation of the chair.
Bit of heavy contact there from Rob.
Yeah. And the referee Steve Baxter awards a free kick in favour of Nottingham to be taken by Sam Langley. Slight switch. Matt Hadfield comes over to take. Just to go through the lineups, Newcastle in goal, Lee Armstrong. In front of him he has Ollie Crawshaw with two wider wingers of Rob Thompson and Albie Morrison for Nottingham. Matt Hadfield in goal, Sam Langley just in front and Jack McNaughton on the left. Joe Kerrison on the right.
Oh, good hit from Ollie Crawshaw. Nice 360 there.
It's actually the first time I've watched either of these sides this weekend. I haven't had the privilege of commentating and or watching them, so very intrigued to see what each respective side can produce. Going back to you though, Jack, how's your first Premiership weekend been representing Leeds?
It's been really good actually. I think we were saying, I think it's the first time we've actually started out with a win and a draw, so
yeah.
Pretty happy with that. And I mean, the game against this morning against Aspire didn't go, obviously I think it was 2-1 to them, but I think we were really in it, and to be honest, It didn't really feel like a loss. I know obviously it was, but it was one of those really entertaining games, even as a player, that I know Jack Britton was saying it felt like a loss.
yeah, absolutely. But it speaks volumes to how much Leeds have come on with the addition of yourself, in the absence of Kizzy Wade, and to register points on the boards, and even more importantly, wins, as they they want to secure obviously Premiership survival. That will probably be the ultimate aim, and if they can better that or climb the table, then that's a bonus, surely.
I mean, the absence of Kizzy has been massive. We're down to 5.
She's been such a key member for so long, so for her to just step away for a while, we hope Kizzy is doing well.
Bit of contact there from Joe Kerrison.
Options on the bench for Newcastle. They have Aaron Guthrie and Ethan Fisher at their disposal should they wish to use them.
Again, me and Ethan used to be teammates. And
you did at Northwest Bees.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Ethan and his recent move?
Oh, I remember at the time we were all a bit, oh, I'm not too sure. You know, it's a 3-hour drive from each time.
Yep.
You know, each way for training. So we were a bit like.
And does he commit to training weekly?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, we were saying, but you know, he seems to be doing really well, really coming on as a player there. And I mean, even before he was already a key player.
Oh,
for North West Bees.
I raved
our
about
best
him.
player.
It was the first time I got to watch him last year in the Championship, and for people that are more familiar with the Premiership than the Championship, I was saying how talented he is, and
It was his way, the way he controlled the game, the way he had a swagger about him, and just the way he could just hit the ball.
it was exactly that. He can certainly hit a ball, and I think I was running the line for one of the North West Bees games last season in the Championship, and he produced a pass that just split open the opposition, resulting in a goal. And after the game, I went up to him and just said, "How did you do that?" It was sensational. And from that, I have taken note of his performances, and I'm glad to see him similar to yourself in the Premiership.
I think another thing we've got to bear in mind with him is he's still just into a. I mean, he's done really well.
He's only just got into a strike force, hasn't he?
He's done really well to get right in, because obviously the equalisers. I mean, I've used both myself. The first season was a bit. The equalisers are actually about 4 or 5 inches longer. So when you're hitting the ball, it's a lot different. And he's coming on really well with that.
Crawshaw across the face of goal, intercepted by Matt Hadfield. Rob Thompson now trying to dispossess.
I mean, I was saying before, Newcastle, you know, they've got Rob Thompson, an experienced player. You know, Ollie Crawshaw on the national pathway. Obviously, Ethan Fisher on the regional pathway. You know, they've got such a good squad.
They really do. Yeah.
And they've got a really good squad depth as well.
Yeah. Worth noting, Lee Armstrong, recently part of the England training camp, was called up by Colin Gordon and Adam Crowley to show what he can do. That speaks volumes to how much he's come on and the levels that he has that have been consistent since he's moved to Newcastle. Albie Morris, another young talent.
He's from Newcastle?
Pardon?
So he's from Middlesbrough? He's on loan? Albie Morris? Did he come from Middlesbrough?
No, he's a Newcastle boy.
Right.
Probably getting confused with Sam McKee, who's on loan or I think he's permanently transferred now from Newcastle to Middlesbrough.
I got it the wrong way around.
Yeah. But they had Sam McKee on their books, and he was another really talented young player coming through the ranks and doing extremely well in the Championship. Rob Thompson with a free kick.
Trying to find the space now.
Hadfield cushions it into the right hand side of his chair. Ollie Crawshaw trying to put some pressure on. He has the option of Albie Morris on the left hand side, or your right as you're viewing it.
Oh,
ricochets between the two chairs of Sam Langley and Matt Hadfield, and nearly a goal for Albie Morris.
They're the worst ones, I think, into the wall. They really are.
It's been a fair few this weekend.
There you go. Crawshaw just...
Short. Has an attempt at goal, blocked by Matt Hadfield, and Albie Morris unfortunately can't get a hold of the ball. Goes out for a Nottingham kick in. Be taken by Joe Kerrison from the looks of it.
Sam being quite vocal then, instructing his team.
That's one thing that I spoke about at length last year. One of their best traits, Nottingham, is their verbal communication with one another.
I mean, it's crucial in the game. It really is.
For sure.
It's one of the most crucial parts. You know.
The ball just sits up and ricochets between Crawshaw and Langley's chair, ending up in the front bumper of the Nottingham number 3. So play will be resumed with a set ball between Sam Langley and Ollie Crawshaw.
hustle from Albie Morris and Joe Harrison there. Good to
Who was
see.
the goal scorer for Newcastle? Do you remember? Is it the 1-0? Is that the correct?
It's 1-0. Yeah, it may have been. It was either. I think it may have been Albie Morris or it may have been Fisher, Ethan Fisher.
Okay.
It was from a corner. It was right across the box to the other post.
Perfect. So 9.5 minutes remaining. Newcastle lead by 1-0. Can Nottingham force an opening, find an equaliser, register points on the board in this 22-23 opening Premiership weekend? Blocked by Crawshaw. Lee Armstrong, fairly untested, uninvolved in this second half. It looks like Lee Armstrong came out of his box. Rob Thompson trapped in that top left-hand corner. 2-on-1 awarded in favour of Nottingham in a really promising area.
Rob Thompson obviously not happy with that.
No, but he was very much trapped in that corner, and Lee Armstrong did look to encroach out of the box, leaving the referee Steve Baxter with no choice. Jack McNaughton to take. We mentioned how good he is at hitting the set balls.
I remember for Dudley, he was a great
huge attribute for them.
When Bees
speed and momentum is such a crucial element of power chair football, being able to generate the power.
And I think if you can change the speed of the game, you really it's part of the aspect of staying in control of the game. If you can really change the speed of the ball, like Jack McNaughton can, it's really crucial.
That is the perfect example. That the power, the accuracy found Sam Langley, whose eventual shot was blocked by the Nottingham defence. An eventual 2-on-1 gives Newcastle a little bit of respite. Going to get a substitution for Newcastle. It looks like Ethan Fisher is going to come onto the field of play. Lee Armstrong being stripped of the blue goalkeeper jersey, which will now be adorned on Aaron Guthrie. So it's Albie Morris leaving.
I thought he was going to go with Ethan in there.
Yeah, it was interesting to see what he adopted. So Ollie Crawshaw and Albie Morris coming off. Aaron Guthrie and Ethan Fisher coming on. So Aaron Guthrie in goal. I assume Lee Armstrong will play centrally, but yet to be determined.
Hopefully, I think Ethan Fisher may have had some chair problems in the first half. I know he looked like he was, saying to the coaches there was something wrong, maybe something wrong with his spin. So hopefully we'll have resolved that for him now.
Absolutely. Rob Thompson comes over to take.
This is an interesting tactic from Newcastle.
Ethan Fisher lets it bypass him, go all the way back to Matt Hadfield. Little pick off brilliantly from Lee Armstrong, gives Ethan Fisher a chance to test Matt Hadfield in the Nottingham goal. Rebounds back. Sam Langley eventually taking possession of the ball.
Again, like we were saying, Ethan, just great hitter of the ball.
Really is. Worth noting that pick off from Lee Armstrong that set him away. You have to be really brave in them almost 50-50 sometimes. High percentage chance of committing a foul if you don't connect with the ball. Sam Langley across the face of goal, rotated spin kick by Lee Armstrong, blocked by Matt Hadfield. Now chance for Lee Armstrong to drive into space. He passes it over to Rob Thompson, flicks it back to Lee Armstrong, lets it run across his chair, back to Rob Thompson. Well blocked and closed down by Sam Langley, but Newcastle have a kick in. 5.5 minutes remaining. Newcastle 1, Nottingham 0.
Be interesting to see what they do.
Rob Thompson happy to let that run out of play. His chair wouldn't have been able to wrap around it, so the kick-in will suffice.
Well, sometimes it's better to win them.
Yeah. Down to Lee Armstrong. Back into the space. Wasn't necessarily the accuracy there. Nicks up. Nearly hitting Sam Langley in the head. Been a reoccurring theme across the weekend.
Yeah, even at training we've had a couple of them. It's quite... Well, Jack Britton's
we're at a point now with power chair football that people can generate so much power rotating and spinning their chairs. The coordination is improving, that all you need is 2 consecutive powerful hits and it can lift the ball off the ground. That's just a testament to how well players hit the ball these days.
Oh, no. Oh.
Right option from Ethan Fisher there, but couldn't quite get the coordination and or connection to hit the ball, and it goes out for a Nottingham goal kick. 4 minutes remaining.
Ethan getting a little bit.
Rob Thompson dispossesses, met by Sam Langley. Lee Armstrong just patient.
Oh, it's a great release from Armstrong there.
See that hit there from Ethan Fisher. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if he was in an equaliser there, which he's probably accustomed to, as you said, is the extra length, he would have had more connection.
Possibly, yeah. Again, I think when you're wide, it's obviously from your perspective the goal's narrower, so you've got less target to hit. If you get where I'm coming from, just going back to that Armstrong. One of the hardest things in this game is to release the ball from 2 trap chairs. Me and Dan talk about it all the time. Trying to release that ball.
Release it with enough pace as well to find a teammate.
Sometimes you can release it and it kind of just rolls slowly.
Yeah, it's like a flicking motion, isn't it, almost sometimes, to just try and guide it over to your teammate.
If you can master them.
Well intercepted by Matt Hadfield. Test Aaron Guthrie for the first time since his introduction, and a missed kick from Rob Thompson. His play will resume with a Nottingham kick in. Final few minutes here. Can Nottingham find an equaliser? Sends it diagonal across the pitch. Ethan Fisher takes possession. Too much contact there from Ethan Fisher. Free kick for Nottingham, taken by Sam Langley. Down to Jack McNaughton, tries to flick it across. Didn't quite get the accuracy.
Unlucky. Right idea, but...
Advantage played. Sam Langley's foul, reversing into the chair of Rob Thompson.
Gotta be careful doing that. Sometimes it's accidental when you can't see who's behind you. I feel like there it was a bit of a...
Chance here for Ethan Fisher, a lot of pace on that ball. Will be lucky to wrap his chair around it.
He was trying to just get in front of the ball, so he had enough time to go, do a 180 spin. That's again another difficult skill. Can you get enough time to do that manoeuvre?
Chance for Ethan Fisher, blocked by Matt Hadfield.
One minute left in this game. Nottinghamshire looking actually a lot better in this second half.
A lot more structured, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they'll be disappointed they haven't been able to pick apart and find an opening to find that equaliser. That being said,
Newcastle have played really well.
Yeah. So to push you, if you was to say a player of the match, who would you pick, Jack?
I'd have to say, I know obviously they at the minute they're losing, but Sam Langley's played exceptionally. He's gone in for everything. He's not taken anyone for prisoner. He's gone right in.
Yeah, there's the perfect example of him preventing further damage from the Newcastle attack.
And he's got no fear, like just example like that. He's got absolutely no fear.
Absolutely, and obviously that's what Adam brings to this team as well.
such a shame. I know there's a lot of people that are under the weather this weekend.
Yeah, it's just that time of year, and I wish everyone who's ill the very best and to make a full recovery prior to Christmas.
Definitely.
Hefty contact between the chairs of Thompson and Langley. We've had the regulation 20. Now, at any time that the referee is added on.
Again, like you were just saying, Jack McNaughton, from a dead ball then, the ball was still, he managed to get a decent hit on it.
Yeah.
Cannot even get one more. Is it in them?
No, they can't. The referee,
Oh,
Steve
no.
Baxter, blows his whistle for full time. Newcastle 1, Nottingham 0.
Well deserved, I think. Definitely.
Yeah, a well fought win for the Newcastle base side.
Very, very, very well deserved 3 points.
Absolutely, but
Possibly could have been more, but obviously it's cruelty of the sport.
yeah, but it's a similar case to your defeat to Aspire. You come away disappointed, but if you can extract the positives from it and channel it and take it into your next game, that's all that really matters.
Exactly. And I think even if you can take it to training as well,
For sure.
then you can go. I mean, you know, obviously Ethan Fisher and getting acclimatised to the squad as well. I think when they can, when everybody can gel 100%. And I know just from looking at them today, just warming up, Ethan Fisher's already pretty much gelled.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think
he
obviously,
transitioned well into that side.
yeah. I think that's like with Harrison, with Leeds as well.
Yeah.
Brand new player, and
He's adjusting from his recent transfer from Leeds Dynamo, so
definitely done very well.
But anyway, thank you for all that have joined us. Thank you, Jack, for having me.
No worries, thank you, Ryan.
I
It's
hope
been
you
great.
can join us for the next game on Court A. See you soon.
Bye.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to this penultimate fixture. Weekend 1, technically 2, due to the first one being cancelled, of the 22-23 Premiership here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. We've got Teesside versus Sevenoaks. A lot of action. Both have had fantastic weekends, considering they were both very much in a relegation battle throughout the 21-22 season. Let's go through the team lineups and then I'll talk about the form across the weekend. For Sevenoaks, unchanged due to the fact they only have 4 players at their disposal. They have Greg Baxter in goal, Kyle Alexander just in front, with wingers of Miles Miller on the left, Harry Beswick on the right. Alistair Hay in goal for Teesside, Tyler Reeve just in front, Owen Swift and Mitch Tinkler unchanged from the team that started and recently beat Aspire. Sevenoaks had a tricky start to the first weekend of Premiership action, losing a close fixture against Brighton. It ended 3-0, a flattering scoreline for the Seagulls, but after that they bounced back brilliantly, winning 2-1 over Newcastle, 7-1 win over Bournemouth, and a 1-0 win recently over Villa Rockets, taking 9 points from a possible 12, looking to make it 12 from a possible 15. Teesside drew their opening game 1-1 with Leeds, followed that by a 2-0 loss against Northern Thunder. They started today brilliantly, defying all odds, beating Aspire 1-0. It was a fantastic game over on Court B. They very much deserved to beat the Premiership chasers. Here, 2 very evenly matched sides. It'll be interesting to see what tactics they approach and adopt for this fixture. Will Teesside adopt a similar tactic to that beat Aspire, sitting back and looking to pick the opposition off in counter-attack? Sevenoaks, similarly, against Villa Rockets recently, dictated the tempo of the game, eventually finding that goal, being patient in doing so. Referee Paul Yates in the centre just signals that it's a ball for Teesside, with officials of Caroline Bean and Mark Kerrison. Tyler Reeve to take, incredibly impressive in that earlier game. Into the side of Owen Swift's chair, Mitch Tinkler flicks it back in the direction of Owen Swift, but cleared by Baxter. Good early pressure from Teesside. Ball just trapped between Miles Miller and Tyler Reeve's chair. It's Reeves that comes away with it, met by Kyle Alexander. As I mentioned, this is the penultimate game on Court A. Our final game being champions West Bromwich Albion against Leeds. For all those wanting to tune in to the alternate fixture on Court B, Brighton are set to take on West Bromwich Albion Throssels very shortly. Miller into Alexander, trying to bypass Tyler Reeve, but he just maintains his stance and while reversing his chair, limits the options of the Sevenoaks captain, eventually going out for a Teesside kick-in. Tinkler to take, into Reeve, intercepted by Alexander, who's ushering Harry Beswick away to give himself the space to operate down that top left-hand corner. Owen Swift to take, controlled by Tyler Reeve. He's going to try and bypass Greg Baxter. Flicked into the space. Owen Swift has to come over to block the advances of the Sevenoaks keeper. Ball ricochets between the two chairs. Flicked back to Harry Bestwick. Back to Greg Baxter. Chance here. Blocked well by Mitch Tinkler. Did that so effectively in the fixture against Aspire. Tyler Reeve rotated spin kick, trying to find Mitch Tinkler. Blocked well by Kyle Alexander. Very closely fought fixture in these opening 5 minutes. Sevenoaks 0, Teesside 0. Flicks back to Bestwick. Mitch Tinkler just comes over to limit the space. Still in play. Mitch Tinkler trying to guide the ball down this right-hand line. Eventually goes out of play in favour of Teesside. Taken quickly by Mitch Tinkler. Little pick off. Takes it out of Harry Bestwick's path. And eventually out of play for a Sevenoaks goal kick. Alexander intercepted by Tinkler. Pick off from Swift, unable to be sent goal bound. Ricochet over onto the left hand side. Goes out of play. Tyler Reeve to take. Very cagey opening 7 minutes. Still waiting for that real burst of quality from either side. Audacious effort there from Tyler Reeve, trying to squeeze the ball between Baxter and Alexander. Fails. He'll have to regroup at this kick in. Tinkler. Miller now with a chance to advance up, but the referee had already blown his whistle for a 2-on-1 infringement. Then condensed Teesside attackers, not allowing the necessary room. Baxter intercepted immediately by Mitch Tinkler. Over to Owen Swift, couldn't get the direction. Back to his number 10 teammate. No clear-cut chances, but Teesside definitely the brighter of the two in the opening 9 or so minutes. Alistair Hay very advanced. Eventually switches positions with Owen Swift. Just experimenting, trialling something different. Tyler Reeve to take responsibilities. He has Owen Swift down this right-hand line, who he opts to choose. Fires it across the box, blocked by Greg Baxter. There's no real pace in the game at the moment. Both teams will be looking to inject that, get some momentum. Well battled by Harry Bestwick, but unfortunately doesn't win the kick in. Pick off brilliantly by Kyle Alexander. Has too much pace for his left-hand winger, Miles Miller. Sign of applause from his coach, Adam McAvoy. Reeve into Tinkler, bypasses him straight to Baxter. Miller now operating high on that left-hand wing. As suspected, both cancelling each other out. Very similarly matched in terms of their talent and their tactical approaches. It's going to take some real quality to separate the teams. Alexander just readjusts to best suit this angle. Baxter shielded by Swift, so he has to go for one of the advanced options in Miles Miller and or Harry Bestwick at the back post. Off the side of Miles Miller's chair into the path of Owen Swift, who controls it beautifully, sends it back to Mitch Tinkler, but too much pace for Tyler Reeve on that left-hand side. Nine minutes remaining. Sevenoaks nil, Teesside nil. Kyle Alexander with possession, met by Mitchell Tinkler. Alexander with the more Bestwick takes it in his stride, but eventually goes out of play for a Teesside kick in. Very fragmented, very stop-start. Tinkler down to Reeve, fires it across the box. Miles Miller just with enough to prevent it from going to Owen Swift. It's a risk versus reward situation. Both teams unwilling to commit too many players forward, risk too many chances that leaves them open on the potential counter-attack. Chance here, Tinkler flicks it into the side of Baxter's chair. Never a real threat though. Sevenoaks number 6 had it well covered. Bestwick just a few seconds short of receiving that pass on a heavy touch from Miles Miller. Eventually rolls out for a Teesside goal kick. Tinkler into Reeve, blocked by Bestwick. Back to Reeve. Short exchanged passes between the two. Over to Bestwick. Options on the bench for Teesside in Dylan Pearson and Kieran Burns, should they wish to switch it up, adopt a different approach. 6 minutes remaining. Kyle Alexander with the kick in just inside the Teesside half. Just assessing these options. Miller to his left, Bestwick to his right. Goes to Bestwick, but a heavy touch sends it into Owen Swift's pass, and the right idea, trying to flick it over to his winger. But Mitch Tinkler not positioned well enough to receive it. Alexander preventing Mitch Tinkler from finding a way round. Just patient play. Kyle Alexander in no rush to try and distribute the ball. Yeah, correct decision to let that roll out of play for a goal kick. And I think we're going to get our first substitution of the game as Owen Swift leaves the field of play. And in his place, number 7, Dylan Pearson. Baxter. Two number 10s battling away, flicks back to Kyle Alexander, who tries to distribute over to his left-hand wing, and Harry Bestwick. This is better. This is what the game is crying out for, is a bit of pace, bit of momentum in their passing. The referee unfortunately halts that and awards a 2-on-1 in favour of Sevenoaks. Alexander to take, indirect free kick, Bestwick to his left, Miller well shielded in the box. He opts to find Miller, just gets trapped between his and Tyler Reeve's chair, and Tyler Reeve comes away with it, dribbling down this right hand side. Ball still in play. Tinkler over to Pearson, first involvement since his introduction, couldn't quite get the accuracy to find Reeve. Back to Alexander, Reeve. Beautiful pass over to Pearson, back to Reeve. He's going to try and generate a shot. Correct idea to try and just let it run across the back of his chair and have a rotated spin kick. It just gets caught on his back bumper. Better from Teesside after a short spell of pressure from Sevenoaks in the final 2.5 minutes. Miller flicked it into the central area. Miller, rotated spin kick. Interesting approach there from Tinkler. Did well to clear the ball. Miller just gives himself a little bit of room. Out to Alexander, rotated spin kick. Just wide of the left-hand post. Best chance of the game, without question, for Sevenoaks. Or any chance in that matter. I'll be disappointed that they weren't able to see that over the line and take a advantage as we approach half-time. Brighter, good pick-off from Miller. Great touch initially from Alexander, took Mitch Tinkler out of the game, but the Teesside number 10 has it readjusted since. Well worked by Alexander. Sevenoaks kicking, taken quickly, down to Miller. Left all the way back to Baxter. Pick off to Harry Bestwick, who has time. Rotated spin kick blocked by Tyler Reeve, and Dylan Pearson has an opportunity to capitalise on the space. Vacated by Greg Baxter. Real opportunity there. As Sevenoaks committed more players forward, searching for that goal. There was space in behind. Bestwick, back to Alexander, back to Bestwick, pick off. 3 or 4 exchange pass between the two. Down the line. 20 seconds remaining. Can Mitch Tinkler summon up something special here? Has to keep that in. Just took a ricochet off the front of his chair. Trying to work his way into a corner. Good flick back. Tyler Reeve over to Dylan Pearson. Has an attempt at goal. Couldn't get the angle. Blocked by Kyle Alexander. Over to Miller. Now a chance for them to break. Couldn't quite take it in his stride well enough. And the referee eventually blows his whistle for half-time. Sevenoaks 0. Teesside 0. Fairly uneventful first half between the two sides. Best chance of the game just falling to Kyle Alexander a few minutes ago. Great ball from Harry Bestwick down to Alexander, just wide of the left-hand post. So as it's half-time, Sevenoaks 0, Teesside 0. Join us shortly for the second half. Thank you. Hello everyone and welcome back to this second half, this fixture between Sevenoaks and Teesside, currently 0-0. I'm delighted to be joined on commentary for the first time after months and months of persuasion by Summer Rice. How are you, Summer?
I'm good, how about you?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all, thank you. How's your weekend been so far with the Villa Rockets?
Good. It's been good, yeah.
Good. So little to separate the sides in the first. We'll be looking to improve on that in this next 20 minutes. A chance here for Teesside. They've worked the opportunity brilliantly well. Slight confusion amongst the Sevenoaks players. And Mitch Tinkler puts them 1-0 up in the first minute of this second half. Adam McAvoy having words with the referee Paul Yates, just trying to understand what happened, as well to his two players in Kyle Alexander and Greg Baxter. Great start for Teesside, who will look to maintain and preserve that 1-0 lead now and finish off a brilliant weekend, or particularly a brilliant Sunday, following a 1-0 win over Aspire earlier today. Bestwick intercepted by
ball.
Mitch Tinkler. From one end to the other, Dylan Pearson comes over to take. Go through the team lineups once again. In goal for Teesside, they have Alistair Hay. In front of him, they have Tyler Reeve, Mitch Tinkler, and Dylan Pearson on either wing. For Sevenoaks, they have Greg Baxter, accompanied by Kyle Alexander, two wingers, Miles Miller and Harry Bestwick. Kyle Alexander just getting adjustment to his feet before we resume play. You're done for the weekend though in terms of your games, Summer?
I've got one last one of the game next door.
Yeah. Have you got? I think you got Bournemouth, haven't you?
Yeah.
Chance for you to register a few goals. Have you got any goals yet?
No.
You need to add to your tally from last year.
I know.
Do you remember how many goals you got last year?
I think I got 9.
Off the top of my head, I was thinking 9. Ricochets between the chairs of Alistair Hay and Kyle Alexander. Down to Miller. Cleared by Mitch Tinkler. Alexander. Once again, space limited by Tyler Reeve. Following that early goal from Teesside, it's been very cagey. Chance here for Harry Bestwick to try and squeeze the ball between Reeve and Hay in the Teesside goal. He's unable to do so. Kyle Alexander commanding instructions at his teammates. Paul Pearson just adjusts the strap in on Dylan Pearson's chair. Be shortly underway. Tinkler to take. Down to Reeve. Just cushions it and tries to guide it goal bound. Blocked by Greg Baxter. Across the face of goal. A chance here for Tinkler. Blocked again by Baxter. Miles Miller didn't quite take the ball in his stride and gives possession straight back to Teesside. Great battle here between Alexander and Tyler Reeve. Not shy to get stuck in. The Teesside number 11. Tinkler. Back to Reeve. The option of Tinkler blocked off by Miles Miller. Over to Dylan Pearson. Back to Tyler Reeve as an attempt at goal. Cleared well by Greg Baxter. Chance now for Harry Bestwick to start a counter-attack. He passes it over to Miles Miller, who's trapped by Tyler Reeve. Eventually going out of play for a Teesside ball. Seven minutes gone. Teesside 1, Sevenoaks 0. Teesside have been much the brighter side in this second half. Miles Miller just guides it down the line. Met eventually by Mitchell Tinkler. Greg Baxter now very advanced compared to usual. Tinkler to take into the side of Tyler Reeve's chair, met by Kyle Alexander. Miles Miller to take. Sevenoaks just really struggling to get out their own half. Teesside, despite that 1-goal advantage, not content with sitting back and inviting pressure. Their game, their tactic.
Nice ball.
Was a nice ball down the line. Another nice ball from Kyle Alexander. Can't be controlled by Miles Miller. Ricochets goal bound. Alistair Hay called into defensive duties. Miles Miller trying to squeeze the ball past the Teesside duo. But Kyle Alexander unable to get the direction over to Bestwick. Tyler Reeve left his box, leaving Mitch Tinkler no space. 2-on-1 in favour of Sevenoaks. And a chance with 11 minutes remaining for the Kent-based side to search for an equaliser. Took a fantastic set piece, won the game against Villa Rockets. Another set piece from Kyle Alexander to Bestwick, almost finds them that goal they're searching for. Ricochets, nice assured clearance from Tyler Reeve, sends the ball from one side of the pitch all the way to the other. Sevenoaks have to summon something special here to break down this Teesside defence. Sevenoaks ball. Miles Miller to take. Kicking for Sevenoaks. Slight feint. Does well to get it past Mitch Tinkler. Sevenoaks just finding it hard to figure out a way past Mitch Tinkler and Tyler Reeve. Their defence was so effective against Aspire, and they're adopting the same approach here. Tinkler. Tinkler to Reeve, back to Tinkler, intercepted eventually by Miles Miller, but no real threat on the Teesside goal. Alistair Hay fairly untested in the second half. 8 minutes remaining, Teesside 1, Sevenoaks 0. Nice ball from Kyle Alexander, sent Bestwick away, rotated spin kick, sends it goal bound, blocked by Alistair Hay. Miles Miller trying to continue the attacking pressure. Alexander, rotated spin kick cleared by Mitch Tinkler. Greg Baxter called into action now. Just lets it roll out of play to reset possession. You've played against Sevenoaks this weekend, Summer. Who would you say is their best player?
I think Kyle in the middle is a good player.
Yeah, he was very good in the game against you. Probably unfortunately for you.
He's very hard to get past though.
Yeah. You haven't played Teesside this weekend, have you?
No.
Been a mixed weekend for Villa Rockets.
Yeah.
You won against Throstles to begin with.
Yeah.
And then what was it? It was the
Aspire, we lost
2-0 defeat to Aspire.
Yeah.
You were very good in that game. I was very
You just need to
compliment.
match the aggressive level with John.
Yeah, of course. You did that for large parts of the game though, didn't you? I was really impressed with Hamza.
Yeah.
I've never watched him play before. This is the first weekend that he's come to Nottingham, and he was brilliant.
Yeah, he's very good in the middle though.
Yeah. Tyler Reeve just happy to keep the ball in that top corner. Waste down the clock, got 5 minutes remaining. Baxter now has to be careful of Mitch Tinkler's advances. Miles tries to take it in his stride. He's done well. Keep the ball in play. Forceful contact from Tyler Reeve. Sevenoaks ball, that's brighter. Can they find an opening? 4.5 minutes remaining. They trail by 1-0. Bestwick now with a chance.
Oh, good
Ricochets.
try though.
Ricochets off the Teesside defence. Harry Bestwick to take. There's the option of Kyle Alexander, who's just pointing to the side of his chair. Manages to pick him out, but blocked by Tyler Reeve. Greg Baxter now called into defensive action. Back to Tinkler. Greg Baxter down to Bestwick, flicked over, intercepted by Tyler Reeve. Kyle Alexander shouting to his winger. Great pass, chance here for Miller, flicks it across the box. Great accuracy, great power, but no one there to meet it. He's put in a great area. Substitution, it's going to be for Teesside as Sevenoaks only have 4 players. Kieran Burns coming on, and then he's in place of Dylan Pearson. Just changed their decision, I think. Dylan Pearson has come back onto the field of play. Kyle Alexander passes it over to Bestwick, cleared by Mitch Tinkler. Their space isn't opening up in the Sevenoaks defence as they commit more players forward. With 2 minutes remaining, they have to go for broke. It's a similar situation to that of the game against Brighton. They went 1-0 down late on, and 2 further goals were a result of their stretched defence. Intercepted by Pearson, goes out of play for a goal kick. You've been watching this from the sidelines and in the first half, Summer. Who would you say is your man of the match?
I think Tyler is the man of the match because he's defending really well.
Yeah, I agree. He's been so effective in this game as he was in the last. I think I gave Mitch Tinkler my man of the match in their game against Aspire. In this one, I'd have to give it to Tyler Reeve. Should they not concede in the last few minutes? Overall, despite a challenging Saturday, Teesside have bounced back brilliantly, and if they can see this win out, they would have secured back-to-back wins against Aspire and Sevenoaks, to be added to the 1-1 draw with Leeds yesterday, taking I think that's 7 points. 7 points from a potential 12, which is not bad at all. Should Sevenoaks lose this game, which is looking more and more likely as the clock goes down, it will be 9 points from a possible 15. Still a fantastic feat, having scored as many in this single weekend as they did in the whole of the 21-22 season. So positives to take despite what looks like an inevitable loss against Teesside. 6 seconds remaining. Rotated spin kick just flicks up. The referee allows it to continue. Mitch Tinkler regains possession. Guides the ball out of play. We've had the regulation 20, so now any time that the referee Paul Yates has accrued throughout this second half. Tinkler back to Reeve. Flicked over in the direction of Dylan Pearson. Couldn't quite get a hold of it. Glance at his watch. It rolls all the way out of play for a goal kick. Disappointing for Sevenoaks, but as has been mentioned, they'll take huge positives in the 3 consecutive wins that they had coming into this. Teesside, a brilliant way to end weekend 1 of the 22-23 Premiership season. The referee Paul Yates does blow his whistle, and the North East side do see out another win and a further 3 points in their pursuit of safety, or even something greater. But thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Summer. After, as I said, after months of persuasion, you finally joined me on commentary, and now I won't be able to keep you away. So thank you all. I hope you can join us all. Next game on Court A is West Brom versus Leeds. See you shortly. Hello everyone and welcome back to the final fixture on Court A here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre for the opening weekend of the 22-23 Premiership season. We'll shortly be kicking off with champions West Brom against Leeds. I'm joined on commentary for the second time this weekend by Newcastle United's superstar Ollie Crawshaw.
Hello everyone.
How are you?
I'm good, yeah, you?
Yeah, not bad at all. How have you found the weekend as a whole? Obviously a mixed bag for Newcastle, playing some tough games but also grinding out some good results.
Yeah, it's been an alright weekend, just not the best start to the season. Definitely need to up our game for the next one. 2 wins out of 5 is not great.
It's not necessarily good on paper, but considering the opposition, you played Northern Thunder, you played West Brom.
Yeah. It's good to get those games out of the way with sooner.
Yeah, absolutely, and you have a kind of a platform to build on. You've got Ethan Fisher still adapted to the team. Obviously, the recent exits of Georgia and Jessica Moat, so there's an adjustment period that you need to cater for.
Yeah, especially with Sam coming in the team now as well.
Yeah, so no positives to take and a lot to build on come the next weekend of Premiership football.
Yep.
So just for context, this is West Brom versus Leeds, the final game on Court B. West Brom have had a faultless start in the defence of their Premiership crown. They started the weekend with a win over Nottingham, followed by a win over yourselves, Newcastle.
Yeah, let's just not talk about
that.
You
went 1-0 up though, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I think you went 1-0 up, so you've got to you've got to take positives in every little thing. Let's not kid ourselves. West Brom are an elite side.
Rob scored a good goal.
With some of the world's leading players. So the fact that you can pick open their defence and open the scoring speaks volumes at the quality that Newcastle have.
Yeah.
But today, an emphatic win for West Brom over Bournemouth will be followed by this Leeds fixture. So if they're able to secure 3 points, they will have a faultless weekend. Leeds started off with a draw against Teesside. That was followed by an excellent 1-0 win over Brighton. I had the privilege of commentating on that. It was a great game, great overall win. Earlier today, they succumbed to a very close 2-1 defeat to Aspire. They'll feel that they could have got more out of that game, and the fact that we're talking about Aspire title challenges in that context shows how well they performed. Going through the team lineups. In goal for Leeds, they have Jack Britton in front, Dan Rigby, wingers of Seb Copeland and Harrison Taylor. The familiar face in the West Brom goal, they've got Chris Gordon in front of him, Lewis Harris, with Dave Lewis and Dylan Kelsall on the wings. Referee Mark Kerrison blows his whistle to get proceedings underway in this final fixture of the day. Dan Rigby with possession early on. Right idea, sending it diagonally across to Seb Copeland on that left-hand wing. But his number 4 winger wasn't there to meet the driven ball. So Dave Lewis will get us underway with a kick in. What's your prediction then, Ollie?
I think 2-0 West Brom.
Kelsall into the side of Rigby's chair. Back to Gordon. Rigby with the ball now. Harris. So when you played West Bromwich Albion yesterday, what were your thoughts on the game? Any players that stand out that you think were really difficult to play against and try and bypass?
Well, the whole team is obviously their champions.
It's full of quality, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all full of quality. It's a very rough game though. Lots of fouls being given.
If you used to pick one from that game in particular, not with no prior kind of knowledge or context, what player stood out the most for West Brom against you?
Dylan was really good. Obviously, he got 2 goals, and I thought he played really good.
Yeah, I'm one of Dylan's biggest fans. Had the pleasure of watching him develop from St George's Knights through the regional talent pathway onto the national talent pathway, and now a proud member of the current England squad.
Yeah.
He'll have very strong aspirations of being on the plane to Sydney, so
Yeah.
to get praise from people like yourself in his pursuit of that goal certainly can't hurt, as Chris Gordon advances onto Dave Lewis's corner, but intercepted by Dan Rigby. Healthy contact between the two. Two and a half minutes gone, nothing to separate the sides thus far. West Brom. Options on the bench. Harrison Taylor there forces an effort towards Chris Gordon. Has to block it from going over the line. Not much pace though. Dave Lewis fires it back to Chris Gordon. Diagonally across the pitch. Dave Lewis with an attempt at goal now. Ricochets across the pitch. I'm not sure what his intention was for that shot, but he did generate a great deal of power. Lewis all the way back to Dylan Kelso at the back post. Closed down extremely well by Dan Rigby, and it sets it into the path of Harrison Taylor, but way too much pace for the number 44 winger. Options on the bench for West Brom. They have Matt Gilbert and Marcus Harrison. Almost scary to say and see that much quality at their disposal. Healthy contact there by Dan Rigby, allowed by the referee. Dave Lewis now with a chance to attack. Jake Britton does well to intercept and just block the initial effort. Harrison Taylor back to Dan Rigby, met by his fellow England teammate Dylan Kelso. Fired across the face of goal by Dylan Kelso. They can really generate the power. I think that's a common theme with this West Brom team.
Yep.
Being able to connect with the ball so cleanly. Jack Humphreys waiting in the wings on the Leeds bench, hoping to get his chance to impress, having done so already across the weekend following his recent transfer from North West Bees. Dan Rigby to take into the space. Chris Gordon clears. Lewis Harris couldn't get the connection on his spinning kick. Down to Dylan Kelso. It remains in play. Right idea there from Dylan Kelso to try and cushion the ball into play, but just nicks off the back of his chair, and Leeds will have a kick in. Down to Harrison Taylor. Harris does well to find Dylan Kelso, maintains his position in reverse. Eventual pick off from Chris Gordon. Just seen that play by Dan Rigby. He's been one of the standout performers for Leeds this weekend and across the last few years. As a matter of fact, fantastic player. Dylan Kelso is going to try and flick it back to either Chris Gordon or Lewis Harris. Again, we talk about that power that they can generate, something that Sevenoaks were lacking slightly in the previous game on court A. Slight readjustment allowed Harrison Taylor to prevent Chris Gordon from advancing. Dan Rigby rotated spin kick in the space, and now Harrison Taylor has a chance to drive it across the line. There's nothing Lewis Harris can do, And Leeds Chariots PFC have gone 1-0 up against the champions, West Bromwich Albion. A huge goal, a huge moment in the game.
They left their goal wide open.
They did. That's always the fear in adopting that 4-out system. All four players all within the Leeds half at one point.
It just takes that one pass for a gap.
Exactly that. If you can find the quality, that one pass that splits open the defence, the chances are there to be had. And Leeds now have a 1-0 lead to try and preserve.
That should boost their confidence as well.
Absolutely. Quick start here. Dylan Kelsall trying to force away past Jack Britton. Follow-up shot from Gordon, blocked by Rigby. Harris, they're really picking together their passes now. West Brom condensing the Leeds defenders in. A 2-on-1 is awarded. Gordon to Lewis, controlled by Dan Rigby. "12 minutes gone. West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds Chariots 1. It's an interesting decision there from Jack Britton to just allow it to roll all the way onto his goal line. His chair wasn't quite positioned well enough to clear the ball initially. Dan Rigby down to Seb Copeland, blocked by Dave Lewis, who's impressed since his transfer from West Bromwich Albion Throstles in the summer. Another new recruit, Dylan Kelsall, tries to keep the ball in play. He's unable to do so. Rigby down to Taylor. Lewis Harris unable to keep it in play. What are your thoughts on the opening 9 or so minutes, Ollie?
West Brom have been good, but Leeds have been fighting them, and they've managed to get a goal from it. So I think both sides have had their chances.
How quickly after you went 1-0 up against West Brom did they equalise yesterday?
Very quickly. I think we were so excited that we scored that we lost our heads a little bit.
It's typically the case when you score first against West Brom. Chance here for Dylan Kelsall, blocked by Jack Britton. Yes, so the longer that Leeds can preserve this 1-goal lead, the more and more confident they'll get, as you've just said. If they can see this score into the half-time break, it will surely boost morale and their confidence ahead of a cagey second half. Gordon to Lewis Harris, guided over to Dylan Kelsall brilliantly. Reverse spin kick over to Chris Gordon, who sends a shot goal bound, blocked on the line by Dan Rigby. Reverse spin kick from Lewis Harris, again blocked by Dan Rigby. What a fantastic game this is. Just cushions. Now Dan has a chance to rotate his chair clockwise to try and guide the ball over the line and double Leeds' advantage, but isn't able to do so. The whole ball just leaves the field of play. Great pressure from Leeds, but as we've said, Ollie, if they commit players forward, West Brom, in a search for an equaliser, one pass, they could be looking at being 2-0 down coming into half-time.
The 4-out system is a very good system, but it allows more gaps in the pitch for like counter-attacks, and then which lead to goals.
Dave Lewis couldn't get the accuracy to force an effort goal bound or pick out Dylan Kelsall on this right-hand wing. Going to get the first substitution of the game, and it's going to be Dave Lewis leaving the field of play. And in his place, one of the world's leading players, Marcus Harrison. Lewis Harris down to Dylan Kelsall. Chris Gordon now called into action, met by Seb Copeland. Just gets the better of him, flicks it back to Lewis Harris, who lets it run across the face of his chair. Dylan Kelsall now fires it across the box. But blocked by Dan Rigby. Pressure really mounting now. 8 minutes remaining. Jack Britton. Down to Dan Rigby. Met by Lewis Harris. Just trying to force away past Seb Copeland. And once again, the spaces at the back. Just takes a ricochet. Nearly going over the West Brom goal line. Just wide for a goal kick. Gordon into Harris, into Harrison for his first involvement since his introduction. Short exchange passes between the two. So familiar playing with one another, but for both club and country. Down the line from Gordon to Marcus Harrison. He's going to try and flick it back to his captain. He does so over the box to Dylan Kelsall. His attempt at goal blocked by Jack Britton. Gordon, Harrison, back to Gordon. Pick off in the direction of Dylan Kelsall. They're finding their passes now and a fantastic attempt at goal. An incredible phase of play from the champions. West Bromwich Albion eventually cleared off the line, but the quality is evident for all to see. Harrison back to Gordon, fires it across the face of goal, blocked once again by Jack Britton. Rigby patiently trying to figure out Lewis Harris. Very congested in the centre there, with shouts for two from the mezzanine above, eventually awarded in favour of Leeds. Harrison Taylor back to Rigby. Fires it diagonally. Great pass from Lewis Harris to pick out Marcus Harrison. Back to Harris. Over to Dylan Kelsall. Real opportunity here. Prevented by Jack Britton. Lewis Harris continues the West Bromwich Albion attack. Superb work from Jack Britton there to just advance out of his box and condense the West Bromwich Albion attackers in. 2-1 in favour of Leeds. 4.5 minutes remaining. West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds Chariots 1. I have no doubt both Aspire and Northern Thunder will be tuning into this and very much cheering on Leeds. Northern Thunder with a faultless weekend as well in their pursuit of a Premiership trophy. Aspire were unfortunate to lose to Teesside earlier today, so we'd want to see it evened up. They played out a very close 2-1 win over Leeds earlier today. Aspire, they can attest to how competitive and well drilled they are. Kelsall across the face of goal. Jack Britton now closes the gap, prevents Marcus Harrison from guiding it in on that right hand post. Pressure still there though. Going to try and flick it back. Superb work from Dan Rigby to stop the ball going to Chris Gordon. Quickly taken. Seb Copeland stationary on the edge of the box. Doesn't let that through. Britton guiding it out. Harrison Taylor going to try and get across. Marcus Harrison does well. He's going to force it down the line. Met by Chris Gordon, still in play, as deemed by the official Paul Yates. Gordon over to Kelsall, pick off, back to Gordon, rotated spin kick, blocked by Dan Rigby. What are your overall thoughts on this first half then, Ollie?
West Brom has been pushing and just can't get the overall goal. Dan Rigby is defended very well.
Still in play. Chris Gordon fires it into the side of Seb Copeland's chair. Looks like there's a slight fault to Chris Gordon's chair, momentarily switching off. He's back in action now. Slight respite for the Leeds defence. Gordon. Jack Britton very advanced. As when compared to normal, he's normally fused to that Leeds penalty box. Dan Rigby currently filling the void vacated by him. Ball's placed down for a Leeds kick in. Dan Rigby has Seb Copeland down the line, Harrison Taylor in the centre. Final minute of this first half. Leeds Chariots 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. If you're just tuning in, it's been a fantastic first half. Leeds taking an early lead through Harrison Taylor, counter-attack, exploiting the holes left by that 4-out approach. West Brom much the better of the sides in terms of attacking, unable to find a way past Dan Rigby and Jack Britton. Harrison takes it in his stride, he's going to try and flick it across the box, does so, but gets caught between his and Dan Rigby's chair. Eventually going out for a corner kick, surely the last involvement of this first half, with less than 10 seconds remaining. Regulation 20 are up. Referee Mark Harrison glances at his watch. Leeds will be delighted to get this score, take this score into the half-time break, which is exactly what they do.
Very good half for Leeds there.
Overall, just a brilliant game. We've got
100%.
Leeds capitalised on and countered them brilliantly and found the opportunity to go 1-0 up. Ever since, West Bromwich Albion have been chasing the game as they desperately seek an equaliser, and they'll want more than that. They'll want to take 3 points from this game and not allow Aspire and or Northern Thunder into this title race.
Definitely.
So, yeah, brilliant half. Hope you can all join us for the second. Thank you, Ollie. Hello everyone and welcome back to this thrilling final fixture of the opening 22-23 Premiership between West Bromwich Albion and Leeds Chariots. Leeds Chariots currently possess an incredibly impressive 1-0 lead courtesy of an earlier Harrison Taylor finish. West Brom will be desperate to get back in this side, and I have no doubt Chris Gordon was drilling instructions into them at the half-time break, saying that they need goals as soon as possible. Adjustment and a change at half-time sees Dylan Kelsall leave the field of play, and in his place, number 14, Matt Gilbert, just on the right-hand side of your screen currently. Chris Gordon to take this kick in, down to Lewis Harris. He forces an effort, a goal cleared and blocked by Dan Rigby. Ricochets. And too much for Harrison Taylor to take possession of. What's your prediction then, Ollie?
I think it might stay 1-0.
It's a very bold call, that, considering the quality that West Brom have. I think if Leeds can hold on for another 5 to 10 minutes, we may see frustration really start to set in.
Especially as they're the reigning champs.
Yeah,
they'll
be patient for now. They won't do anything too rash. There's still a full 20 minutes or 18 and a half now for them to get back into the game. It's not too much rush with things. Matt Gilbert adds a lot of firepower up top.
Yeah.
Two goalkeepers locked in battle in the centre circle. Continue to fight for that ball. Chris Gordon now occupying space in the Leeds penalty box. Just vacates and lets Marcus Harrison resume defend duties. In defence, Dan Rigby down to Seb Copeland. Lewis Harris just bypasses Harrison Taylor. Dan Rigby to take into Seb Copeland, closely marked by Lewis Harris, preventing him from finding Harrison Taylor more advanced up the pitch. Quick kick in taken by Chris Gordon, down to Marcus Harrison, over to Lewis Harris, just cushions it into the side of his chair, flicks it over into the direction of Marcus Harrison, which condensed the Leeds defence in. 2-on-1, indirect free kick. Can they find that equaliser to get them back into the side? Indirect, so it has to go via the chair of an opposition and or teammate. Couldn't work the chance, and it goes out for a Leeds goal kick. Jack Britton. Chance here. Harrison Taylor's going to try and capitalise once again and guide it over the line, and he does exactly that. A carbon copy to that of the first half. There's spaces to be exploited at the back, and Harrison Taylor doubles Leeds' advantage. It's Leeds Chariots 2, West Bromwich Albion 0. Are they on course to cause a major upset in this opening weekend of the National League Premiership? They have 15 minutes to try and see this out. Dan Rigby with an assured clearance. What are your thoughts on that then, Ollie?
Well, they managed to do what they did the first time
Exactly.
and find that gap through, and then the goal was wide open. So
It was almost
they could just
identical,
drive it
wasn't
through.
it?
Yeah.
The same motion, the same goal scorer, the same area on the pitch when you account for the different halves.
Yeah.
A great moment for Harrison Taylor, who's recently transferred from Leeds Dynamos. A chance here for Marcus Harrison to drive it across the box, and Matt Gilbert wasn't positioned well enough to receive that driven ball. Truly is remarkable.
Leeds have started off very strong this half.
They have. It's almost identical to that of the first half.
Yeah.
Both in terms of Leeds' approach and inviting the pressure and trying to counter West Brom, but West Brom's all-out attack. Certainly being 2 goals down, they're going to be a lot more open for the counter-attack because they're committing all players forward. All West Brom players occupying positions in the Leeds half. You can see Harrison Taylor, the number 44 nearest to your screens, is just ready to capitalise, and he'll be desperate for his hat-trick. I bet he couldn't have even imagined securing a hat-trick against the National League champions. Dan Rigby guides it towards Chris Gordon, cushions it, picked off by Harrison Taylor. Lewis Harris now down brilliantly to Marcus Harrison, rotates in the direction of Lewis Harris. It eventually finds its way to Matt Gilbert. Lewis Harris now resuming the attack over to Matt Gilbert. Leeds don't look flustered, don't look nervous. They're just all doing their individual jobs. It's fantastic to see. Seb Copeland now blocking off Chris Gordon's advances. Flicks it to the left. Lewis Harris guides it down to Marcus Harrison. Lets it run across his chair. Fires it towards the goal. Jack Britton clears it off the line. And now another chance. Oh, that was extremely lucky for Chris Gordon. That could have easily seen Harrison Taylor score his hat-trick. Had it the ricochet gone in his favour. We're going to get a substitution. Lewis Harris and Matt Gilbert coming off. Dylan Kelsall and Dave Lewis entering the field of play. Marcus Harrison takes it in his stride. Gordon attempts an effort at goal, couldn't get the connection. Does on the second shot. Ricochets off the post. And unfortunately off Jack Britton's chair. An absolutely superb goal. Will give them confidence now. They halved the deficit. And with 12 minutes left in this tie, Leeds have to regroup and prevent a new look West Bromwich Albion side getting an equaliser, or even worse, a winning goal. Rigby, Copeland. But what a goal though, Ollie.
Yeah, very good goal.
Chris Gordon can certainly hit a ball, and
yeah.
I don't know about you, but I just love a ball that ricochets off a post.
Yeah.
Seb Copeland guides it down the pitch. Good play from Dylan Kelsall. Over to Dave Lewis. Dan Rigby tried to get the connection with it. Now, I believe it was a contact foul, just being pulled up by Mark Harrison. So, if that was, it will be a direct free kick. He opts to go for Marcus Harrison on the left, drives it across the ball diagonally. Dave Lewis now have an opportunity to find the gap between Rigby and Britton. He was unable to do so. Seb Copeland tries to clear Leeds' lines. Dave Lewis, once again, proving a real problem for the Leeds defence. How advanced all the players are. Jack Britton does superbly well. Chris Gordon finds the equaliser. A truly sensational player, 2 sensational goals, and just like that, West Brom are back in the tie.
It doesn't take West Brom to score 2 goals.
No, it's the quality that they have. You give them anything and they're able to capitalise and pounce on you. And 10 minutes remaining, this Leeds now that will be desperately trying to preserve this 2-2 score line. Stark contrast to that of 2 or 3 minutes ago, having trailed Leeds by 2-0. Copeland down to Rigby, rotated spin kick. It's dealt with brilliantly by Dylan Kelsall. Over to Harrison. Seb Copeland and Dan Rigby just surrounding Marcus Harrison there. 2-on-1 in the favour of West Bromwich Albion. Taken quickly by Chris Gordon. Harrison Taylor now trying to guide it towards the West Bromwich Albion goal. Nice connection there. An unfortunate kick from Seb Copeland. Presents an opportunity to Marcus Harrison if he can flick it back to Dylan Kelsall on the edge. Looking to improve his already impressive goal tally this weekend. Unfortunately for them, Marcus Harrison and Dylan Kelsall were too close to one another. 2-on-1, indirect free kick taken by Jack Britton. He has Dan Rigby in front. Harrison Taylor to his left, our right. Seb Copeland on our left to his right. That's good from Seb Copeland. A little bit of respite. Relieve some of the pressure on their defence. That's the thing, Ollie. West Brom haven't been particularly, I wouldn't say particularly good, but they haven't been to their normal high standards in this game, but they're able to grind out the results and find the goals. You think their heads could have easily dropped after being 2-0 down, but they always have that winning mentality that all the while the clock is running, they're in the tie. Can Leeds do the unthinkable and go into the lead once again? Dan Rigby happy to let that roll out of play for a corner. Chance here for Leeds. It's a very defensively minded setup from West Brom. Dan Rigby has the option of Seb Copeland to his right. Harrison Taylor well marked in the centre. Dan Rigby opts to just guide it towards that post, and visible frustration from Marcus Harrison, who is unable to control the ball. It goes out for another corner kick. 7 minutes remaining. West Bromwich Albion 2, Leeds Chariots 2. A switch in roles as Seb Copeland now comes over to take the corner kick. Just readjusts. Finds Dan Rigby, but couldn't find the return ball. So will Leeds hang on, Ollie?
I don't know. West Brom are definitely, their heads are back up now.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and we know how easy West Brom can score a goal.
It's nice control from Dylan Kelsall to guide it into the Leeds half. Rigby down to Copeland. Chance for Harrison Taylor, blocked by Dylan Kelsall. They're pressuring the West Brom defence. Such an exciting side to watch, Leeds. They never disappoint. Dave Lewis with an opportunity, and an unfortunate ricochet off Dan Rigby's chair. Almost sends it over the goal line. Ushered out of play for a corner kick. 5 minutes remaining. Can Leeds hold on to this precious point? Will West Brom find a winner? Could Leeds do the unthinkable and capitalise on West Brom's attacks and exploit them on the counter-attack? Harrison in the middle, met by Jack Britton. Chris Gordon now, attempt at goal, takes a nick off the front of Jack Britton's chair.
I'm sure Chris will be trying to get that hat-trick now.
Yes, absolutely. 2 superb goals. A real leader, showing what he does best. Marcus Harrison, Dylan Kelsall, very congested in the centre. Dan Rigby just trying to wrap the front of his chair around Dylan Kelsall. Pick off from Seb Copeland, leaves the space in for Marcus Harrison to drive down that wing. Can he flick his chair round? A lot of pace on that ball, does well to get any connection. Harrison Taylor rooted to the spot. Dylan Kelsall now with the ball, blocked by Dan Rigby. Jack Britton has to clear, does so brilliantly. Dave Lewis trying to recycle that pacey ball from Dylan Kelsall, isn't able to do so. Definitely one of the games of the weekend for me. What about you, Ollie?
Yeah, probably. It's been a very good game.
Gordon, intercepted by Copeland, tries to flick it. It's a great shot, and it goes in!
What a goal!
A goal from his own half. I said, could Leeds do the unthinkable? And it looks like they've done that.
What a goal.
Leeds capitalised and exploited the space, as has been mentioned time and time again. And Dan Rigby from his own half drills the ball over the line, just trickling in to the side of the left-hand post.
Could be up for goal of the season, that.
Absolutely. Not just the goal, but the context and the fact that if they can preserve this lead for the next 2 minutes, they'll secure 3 points over the Premiership champions, one of the best teams in the world. Lewis Harris now trying to work the space and the opportunity to get West Brom back in this. This has been an absolutely fantastic game. Leeds going 2-0 up. 2 Harrison Taylor goals, and then Chris Gordon really took the game by the scruff of the neck and got his side back in it. 2 sensational goals from the West Brom captain.
Yeah.
And just when West Brom was searching for that winner, going for the 3 points, the space opened up, and now a chance here, and they've done it. An absolutely brilliant game, goes end to end, and it looks like Marcus Harrison guided it over the goal line in the end. 3-3.
Wow.
I don't know what to say, Ollie. Lost for words. One of the best games
me too.
I've seen in a long, long time. Dan Rigby attempts an effort straight from kick-off as we approach the final minute. The game, the narrative changes every time we seem to speak, and in the final minute now, West Brom are the ones looking for that winner, looking for the 3 points. Chris Gordon over to Dave Lewis, he fires it across the goal line, and so close to being a winner. Bitterly unlucky there for West Brom.
This has been such a good game to watch.
Yeah, you chose a good one to commentate on, Ollie. Jack Britton, gentle cushion into the side of Dan Rigby's chair. Nothing else can happen, surely, can it?
Don't know.
Thing is, I didn't even have time to process and digest Dan Rigby's goal before that eventual equaliser, and that is an impressive ricochet between the chairs of Dan Rigby and Dave Lewis. Sends the ball at least 10, 15, 20 foot in the air. And is this going to be a late free kick for West Brom?
Clocks
This
it,
would be
0.
heartbreak for Leeds. As you've just mentioned, Ollie, the regulation 20 is up. This is surely the last chance of the game. Can Chris Gordon find the chance, find the space to win this side? Into Marcus Harrison, who flicks it over the chairs. He's just not yet.
Nope.
The referee Mark Harrison is just getting his officials in to discuss. Obviously, that ball had a lot of height on it. He's ushering the players away to discuss with Rob Crawshaw and Paul Yates.
That's exactly what happened in the Thunder Newcastle
And he's
game.
given the goal. He's given the goal. Heartbreak for West Bromwich Albion. And deep into extra time, they find the winner to put the side.
That was surely the last kick of the game.
It's absolute heartbreak for Leeds. I'm lost for words, Ollie.
Yeah, me too.
I'm lost for words, and I'm sure West Brom will be absolutely delighted, not necessarily with the performance, but the fact that they were able to dig in, and despite going down 2-0 and then 3-2 later on in the tie, were able to figure a way out and secure the 3 points. And the referee, Mark Harrison, blows the whistle for full time. I really want to send commiserations to Leeds. They need to channel that and take the positives from that game. They were superb. West Brom just had the cutting edge and the quality in depth.
That was a very good match.
Yeah, if I was to push you for a man of the match, who would you go for, Ollie?
Oh, it's a tight one. I think I'll give it to Chris.
I would agree completely. He took it on himself when they went 2-0 down to find a way back into the side, scoring both to equalise and created that last second chance. I think
100%.
he assisted Marcus Harrison's goal to make it 3-3, likewise with that final set piece. So a huge congratulations to West Brom.
Yep.
I'm sure we have people tuning in from Aspire and Northern Thunder, seething and angry at what they're watching, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's how they grind in. That's how they're Premiership winners and champions of the 21-22 season. But we go again soon.
Yeah, very well done to Leeds as well there.
Oh, absolutely. But thank you all that have joined us across the
Thanks.
weekend, both on this stream and the WFA stream. We hope you can join us when we're back in action for the Premiership or Championship later on, or early in 2023. Thank you very much, Ollie.
You're welcome.
You've been my co-commentator for 2 games this weekend. I hope we can commentate more in the upcoming
100%.
Premiership weekends in February and March. But thank you
100%.
all that have joined us, and we
Thanks.
hope to see you soon. See ya.